Hey, welcome to Subspace Transmissions. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Cam.
Cam, we want to talk about the Romulans here and whether or not they should or they will be making an appearance on Star Trek Discovery. I think there's a lot left to mine with regards to the Romulan storytelling, especially...
No, they did the mining in Star Trek 2009. That was Nero.
That's right, yeah. And the Remans did it in Star Trek Nemesis, so maybe there's not so much left to mine.
No.
Yeah. But look, I think there's a lot of story to tell here with Romulans, but the question mark is, what can we really do in the pre-TOS era? What's the big issue that the writers are going to have to contend with, Cam?
Well, for about a century before the events of Balance of Terror, they had not laid eyes on the Romulans.
Yeah, which doesn't mean the audience can actually lay eyes on the Romulans. Like, the audience can actually see them, they can interact with them. We just can't have our main characters, or at least the Starfleet characters,
Wait, we can interact with them?
Yeah, okay. I talk to the TV all the time, and they talk back to me. But, Cam, here's one pitch that I will throw out there.
Okay.
Look, I think that Laurel, I think that Voke/Tyler, they're going to be part of the series moving forward. Do you think it's possible that they could actually have interactions with the Romulans? Because we do know that the Romulans use Klingon technology.
Right.
As seen in the Enterprise incident with the ship.
Yeah.
And yet, well, I don't know. Do you think that the Klingon characters that have been introduced to us could do that?
That is an interesting idea, because obviously Laurel is taken over as the Klingon Chancellor, and the Klingons are in a bit of a state of flux right now. And so we could see a bit of a power grab, and I think the Romulans would be an interesting way to do that.
Okay.
And I think when you have Sarek on the show, that's a good way, not necessarily to show Romulans from his point of view, but be able to talk about them.
Okay, so look, we see an opportunity to do that. If they did appear once again, what do you think about their look? They had such cool costumes in Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah.
We go up to the Next Generation era, and they've got a bit of a different makeup look, as well as a hairstyle as well.
Don't forget Star Trek V. That fantastic look.
Yeah. Not really.
It was a very weird. It was like very 80s.
Yeah. But
it was like roller rink fashion.
That's how I still dress on my way to work.
Yeah. On roller skates.
Yeah, that's how I get to work. But what would you like to see from the look of the Romulans on Star Trek Discovery? Because we have seen updates to the Klingon look, the Andorians, the Tellarites. Do you think we're due for an update, or do you think they'll just look identical to the Vulcans as we've seen depicted in Star Trek Discovery, very much how the Romulans and the Vulcans were identical looking in the original series?
Well, we saw what Discovery did with the Klingons. So I want the Romulans to look like rock people.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. What I would like to see is, I think TNG took a really good tact in adding it's fairly subtle forehead ridges. They aren't crazy, but it is a bit of a visual difference from the Vulcans. If they're not going to continue that exact look, I would like something similar, maybe a different, shade to the skin or something, just to separate them a little bit from Vulcans.
Eye shade.
Yeah, sure.
I
Although
think
they were allowed to buy shade on the original series, so let's bring in the eye shade.
That's what I think would work. Yeah.
Just something that makes them look a little visually different, because I think, Discovery is a show that I think is intended to grab newer viewers. And I do think a bit of a difference just visually between the Vulcans and the Romulans is a good idea, just for that reason alone.
Yeah. One of the other things that I think would be worth exploring here is exactly what I guess their motivation would be during this era. And to me, is it conquest? Is it, getting a hold of Federation technology? Those are things that we kind of saw already on the original series. So the thing that comes up all the time on Next Generation is kind of the deceptive aspect of them. What do you see as potential for their motivations going forward?
Well, I think what their motivation should be like is somehow trying to get some power, gain, further their empire essentially. But what I think would be interesting is have the Discovery crew essentially stumble into a Romulan plot. Okay. The Romulans are trying to interfere with another species or something, like another world, and have Discovery show up and be kind of confused as to what is going on in the middle of that. Because that way you don't have the Romulans necessarily engaging with the Federation or Starfleet.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's a good idea.
And you know what? Let's say, okay, I agree with you there, although I think that there's one sort of out that we have, and that it was established the Romulans are big into helmets as of the original series.
Sure.
So maybe there's no face-to-face contact. You don't know what the Romulans look like, but if they've got some extravagant-looking helmets on, then the Federation can just claim, oh, it's some unidentified alien that we've been dealing with.
I mean,
I know that's super
cheap.
lame. I know, but it's a possibility.
To me, the reason I don't really like that much is because when we first see the first Romulan in Balance of Terror, it is like a look of shock. Like, it is a huge reveal to the entire crew of the original Enterprise. Or not the original, but the TOS Enterprise. And I just don't like the idea of having other characters glimpse them before that.
Okay.
To me, that is such a special moment that I'm not willing to give it up.
But I'm saying, like, the helmets would be covering everything that would give them away. That's all. Okay. So overall,
it turns into like, what was that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like the whole kind of mystery aspect. Like, okay, I guess we'll never find out for another 10 years what a Romulan looks like.
I wonder if we'll ever run into those aliens ever again.